bringing you the latest from Utah State University's Uinta Basin Regional Campus. This is Aggie Update. Now, here's your host, Bob Peterson.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. Joining me this week is USU Academic Advisor and Marketing Assistant, Leslie Jessup. It's good to have you here, Leslie.
Good to be here.
No stranger to the program. Leslie does an awful lot at USU, and she gets to help me, and I help her with a lot of our marketing efforts at USU. It's a busy time of year right now. We're approaching the fall time, even though it's warm outside. So you're kept pretty busy advising students.
We're thinking about fall. I'm always looking forward to the next season, to the next year, to whatever's going on way down the road on the calendar. So
how is your calendar right now? Is it filling up, or do students need to be aware of coming in early before so they can beat the rush?
I would love to see my calendar fill up right now. If you are planning on coming in the fall, it is the perfect time to come in and get classes planned and mapped out, have things set and ready to go so you can plan on classes, get your books here, and have your tuition paid and be ready to start with a stress-free jump into school instead of waiting till the last minute to get in.
I was so impressed with a student who called the other day, and she said, I'm anxious to come in and get registered. And I said, wow, we love you, because everybody comes in at the end of August almost to try to get registered. But this gives them the opportunity to see Leslie here in Vernal, Peggy and Roosevelt, myself, Josh. There's quite a few of us on hand to visit with new students. So students, if you're new, if you're continuing, just come in and see an advisor. Make an appointment now while it's still early.
Yeah, and if you're a freshman and you have a couple of friends that are planning on coming here, I would love to have you come as a group of friends and let's all sit down together and we can go through the requirements together. You don't have to do it alone to get into it.
We joke about that because sometimes, how did you explain what your job consists of?
Headed into fall, I'm a professional repeater of myself. I don't know how to say that.
Because you say the same thing over and over again multiple times during the day.
Yes, I repeat myself professionally, I guess is another way to describe it.
So if there's a group of 5 or 6 of you, come in together, and Leslie would love that. And you'll hand out the ice cream and just say it one time, right?
Well, that, and we get to start together and kind of work through it together, and then you would kind of know what classes your friends are planning on getting into, and maybe kind of work together and start forming study groups and really get a jump and a good thing going for the school year.
A couple things to talk about today. First, we had a wonderful incoming freshman banquet, and we invited the incoming freshman class, if you will, this year's seniors in high school, those who are planning to attend USU this upcoming fall. And we had a wonderful banquet with them. We had some food delivered to Roosevelt, and it was a great event. I think the students really appreciated a little preview of what to expect out of USU this fall.
It was a great event. I was amazed how many students that we have coming from both counties this year. It really looks like it's going to be a great freshman class. Student government is planning on getting on board with the fact that we have lots of freshmen and creating some freshman activities specifically for that group and get them involved and get them started into some great things. We even have a student government member this year who is an incoming freshman, so that's really fun.
Wonderful student council this upcoming year, and you're right, they also took advantage of a wonderful scholarship offering for the incoming freshman group, and so I think it was a $1,500 scholarship for simply applying, and so our congratulations for those who attended, and like Leslie said, if you are a freshman wanting to come to school at USU, don't let that deter you that you didn't get on that scholarship. Come in and visit with us, and we're seeking more and more freshmen, trying to retain that freshman class, if you will, to stay right here in the Uinta Basin and go to school with us. Okay, we're going to spend the rest of this segment and next segment talking about a wonderful event that took place May 30th and 31st, the first ever Utah State University Uinta Basin Science Summer Camp.
It was awesome. And
you kind of headed this up. You had a wonderful committee comprised of some faculty and staff, but we got the idea from Brigham City. We've got 30 seconds this first segment, but give us a preview of what happened.
We just brought in 6th and 7th graders to our campus, set up some great experiments, and got our faculty involved in presenting those experiments to the students. It was an awesome experience.
About 60 registrants, I think, signed up.
We had 60 slots, ended up with 62.
65. So it speaks to the success of the program, and a lot of people wanting to enter in. In fact, I had a lot of calls of people still, I wanted to come in. Well, next year. When we come back from the break, we'll return to this discussion about the Science Summer Camp held at USU the latter part of May. We'll be right back.
At Utah State University, We understand your priorities because we live in the same communities. We realize you don't want to give up what you love to get what you need. That's why we offer over 40 quality degree programs in communities throughout Utah.
Welcome back to Aggie Update. We're here with USU advisor and marketing assistant Leslie Jessup. Good to have you here, Leslie. And we talked about the last part of the segment about the first annual USU Uinta Basin Science Summer Camp, and it was a smashing success. And so much so that we had exposure not only on Salt Lake market, but through the national media. A lot of people picked that up. And I guess it's because of the Angry Bird title. Is that right? Explain the Angry Bird concept.
It wasn't just a title. It was a full-on workshop. The science behind Angry Birds and how that works with projectile and changing launch angle and weights of the objects that are being launched to determine where they will land so that you can take out your tower.
I didn't know how popular that was, and naive me said, what's the Angry Bird? And everybody's like, you gotta be kidding me. You don't know what Angry Birds are? I said, no. But I learned through Dr. Edwards' demonstration with the catapults and our own Jeff Leisig from KSL getting hit by the water balloons. But what a wonderful event to have that kind of attention given to it. So we're talking about a 2-day event that we had. We had 65 applicants and the registrants, students, this year 6th and 7th graders, going into 7th and 8th grade next year. A 2-day event, included lunch, included some backpacks, some shirts given to them, a small registration fee, $30.
Very minimal registration fee, and that was one of our goals with it, is that we wanted this to be an experience that all the students that are in our local communities could participate. We advertised it through Daggett, Uinta, and Duchesne counties, but we also ended up with some people as far away as Utah County that heard about it and wanted to come in. So
I visited with some of the parents as they were coming in to be registered, and they said, we're so glad you have an event like this, because I take some of my kids to Salt Lake for some of these kind of summer camps to get them exposed to the sciences. So explain our faculty members and maybe little bits of what they did during the 2 days.
Now I've got to remember everything that we did. It was fun. Our first day was kind of a chemistry / biology day. Dr. Christiansen took them into a lab and they split molecules and were able to break water into its parts, and then they were able to explode the explosive side of it. So that was fun. A large flame, yeah. Visit our website. There's a photo up of that flame ball that he created in his workshop. So that was cool. We were able to incorporate Dr. Kitchen from the County Extension Services, and he came in and did an entomology workshop. And
kids love that.
They worked with the bugs, ran around the yard, found bugs. I didn't even know that you could find that many bugs in a half hour, but he definitely is good at what he does, and he knows how to find them. Yep.
Becky Williams?
Becky Williams did some, what we called CSI Rodentville. Kind of a fun title.
CSI Rodentville.
CSI Rodentville. So they took some owl pellets and broke them apart and lined up the bones that were inside of them and mapped them out to what critter it would have come from. And
Professor Ben Berger?
Ben Berger worked with fossils and molding fossils and going through different layers of sediment and how fossils come to be.
So that's just to name a few of them, but you can tell how much fun these kids had, and they had their goggles on because they were deep into this kind of stuff, dissecting things and then explosions. The kids absolutely loved it. So this is going to be a traditional event. This was kind of our first year. We kind of mimicked what Brigham City had done. And so what's our plans for next year, Leslie?
Plans again are to make sure that we do hands-on activities. I think it's great for the learning for them to actually be able to do the experiments, get in there and actually see how things break apart and make it work. We'll also probably end up working a little bit with our space dynamics laboratories in Logan and see if we can bring in a little bit of some of their knowledge to our students. But the workshops for next year will be completely different because we want the kids who are able to come and participate this year as 6th graders to be able to return next year as 7th graders and have a completely new learning experience to jumpstart them into their sciences.
So a student can get not 1 but maybe 2 years of this through right now through their junior high experience.
Yep. That's
wow. So bigger and better events through USU's Summer Science Camp. First ever event that we held here this year, the Science Camp. Next year, look for great things, and under Leslie's charge, I'm sure. Thank you very much. It was a big undertaking. You did a wonderful job. And so we look forward. We'll get the word out as early as when?
Flyers will probably come out mid-March again,
Mid-March.
like we did last year, and I think we'll plan on going right after Memorial Day again.
Great, great. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's it for today's version of Aggie Update. We'll see you next time. For more information, contact us on the Uinta Basin website at uintabasin.usu.edu. Thank you.
I'm Leslie Jessup. I'm an academic advisor at Utah State University, and I'm an Aggie.